Now the next muscles that is present along with the digastric muscles is the stylohyoid muscles. This stylohyoid muscles, it is present in the first plane, and this stylohyoid muscles we studied in the origin. This stylohyoid muscles takes origin from the posterior aspect of this styloid process. This is the styloid process. So, styloid muscles takes origin from the posterior aspect of the styloid process. Then insertion. It is inserted on the hard bone. At the point of the insertion, its tendon is bifurcated. It is divided, bifurcated, and is inserted on the junction of the body and the greater cornea of the hard bone. Through this bifurcation, it passes the intermediate tendon of the digastric muscles passes through this split of the stylohyoid muscles at the hard bone. Now the nerve supply. This stylohyoid muscles is the muscles of the second arch. So it is supplied by the facial nerve. Facial nerve, cranial nerve supply it. Now the action. This stylohyoid muscles acts on the hard bone. It elevates the hard bone at the time of the swallowing along with the digastric muscles. It has no action on the mandible. Now the next suprahyoid muscles, it is the mylohyoid muscles. These mylohyoid muscles, after the hyoglossus muscles, it is the next important muscles of this region. These mylohyoid muscles, it is a fan set. If you see the origin, this mylohyoid muscles takes origin from the mylohyoid line. Of the mandible. Mylohyoid line of the mandible, it gives origin to the mylohyoid muscles. Then insertion, the posterior 1/4 fibers and anterior 3/4 fibers. The posterior 1/4 fibers of the mylohyoid muscles inserted on the body of the hard bone, while the anterior 3/4 fibers of the both sides are inserted on a median fibrous raphe that extend from the mandible to the body of the hard bone, and this median fibrous raphe provides insertion of the anterior 3/4 fibers of the mylohyoid muscles of the both sides, while the posterior most fibers that are inserted on the hard bone on its body. Now the nerve supply, a nerve of its name, that is the nerve of mylohyoid. This nerve of mylohyoid, it is a branch of the inferior alveolar nerve, which is a branch of the mandibular nerve, and this nerve of the mylohyoid supplies the mylohyoid muscles as well as the anterior belly of the digastric muscles. Now the action. These muscles, mylohyoid muscles, form the floor of the mouth. Floor of the mouth is formed by the mylohyoid muscles, on which the tongue rests, and that is why it is known as diaphragmalis. Diaphragmalis, also mylohyoid muscles, because of this reason. This muscles elevates the floor of mouth. As it forms the floor of the mouth, so at the time of the swallowing, it elevates the floor of the mouth to push the bolus on the posterior part of the oropharynx. Now, these muscles also helps elevates the hard bone. Elevates the hard bone like the other suprahyoid muscles. These muscles depress the mandible. Along with the digastric and the genioid muscles, it depresses the mandible and assists the lateral pterygoid muscles to open the mouth against the resistance. So these are the important functions. And one, it is also known as the diaphragma oris, because the tongue rests on this superior surface. Of these mylohyoid muscles. These mylohyoid muscles, its posterior border, this is the posterior border. The posterior border of the mylohyoid muscles divide the submandibular salivary gland into the superficial part and the deep part. We will study it into the submandibular gland. It is the mylohyoid muscles that divide this submandibular gland into the superficial part and the deep part. Superficial and the deep part by these mylohyoid muscles. These mylohyoid muscles divide the submandibular space submandibular space. We have discussed earlier. There is a submandibular space. This space is divided by these mylohyoid muscles into the two parts. The upper part, it is the sublingual space. Sublingual space, that is the upper part, while the lower part, it is the submaxillary space. So it is the two space, that is the division of the submandibular space. The upper space sublingual, it contains the sublingual salivary gland, while the submaxillary space, it contains the major part, the superficial part of this submandibular gland. So it is the important feature of the mylohyoid muscles. It divides this gland, submandibular gland, into the two parts and gives a J shape. These two parts are continuous with each other along the posterior border of the mylohyoid muscles. This is the posterior border. Deep to the mylohyoid muscles, there is a muscles of the tongue. This is the hyoglossus. We will see in the relations on the submandibular region. Now the last muscles of the suprahyoid region, suprahyoid muscles, it is the genioid. This is the smallest muscles. It is situated in the third plane, means it is situated deep to the mylohyoid muscles. If you remove the mylohyoid, then we will arrive the genioid region. These genioid muscles, all the muscles are in pair. The genioid is present in the pair. If you see the origin, these muscles takes origin from the inferior genial tubercle of the mandible. This inferior genial tubercle, it is present on the inner aspect of the symphysis mentae. Above it, it is the superior genial tubercle that gives origin to the genioglossus muscles. So, above it is the genioglossus and below tubercle it is the genioid muscles. These muscles runs downwards and the backwards and inserted on the body of the hard bone on the medial aspect of the mylohyoid muscles deep to the mylohyoid muscles. This genuine nerve supply, it is supplied by the direct branch of the C1. It has been discussed in the class of the ansa cervicalis. The C1 fibers directly supply the two muscles. One is the suprahyoid, one is the infrahyoid. The suprahyoid, that is the genuine, and the infrahyoid, that is the thyroid muscles, that are supplied by the direct branch of the C1. Action, it acts on the mandible and it acts on the hard bone. As it is a small bone, so the principal action, it elevates the hard bone during the swallowing along with the other suprahyoid muscles, and slightly it assists in the depression of the mandible along with the digastric and the mylohyoid muscles. So in the today class we have discussed what is the submandibular region, what is the importance of the submandibular region, and what are the suprahyoid muscles. It is asked in the exam. Suprahyoid muscles, their names, the 4 suprahyoid muscles and the name of the 4 infrahyoid muscles. It is important. Then its nerve supply. What are the nerves that supply the suprahyoid muscles? What are the nerves that supply the infrahyoid muscles? What are their actions? Suprahyoid muscles, what are the actions of the suprahyoid muscles and what are the actions of the infrahyoid muscles, and what is the important features other than these. Like the important is the mylohyoid muscles. Mylohyoid, diaphragma oris, divide the submandibular gland, divide the submandibular space, then it is the posterior baby of the digestive. These are the 2 key muscles. Then after it, it is the hyoglossus. Next is the hyoglossus muscles. It is more superior, more key than these 2 muscles. Most important, then second, then. Thank you.